Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you a successful story using the law of assumption, and this is a cat. This is actually someone that owns a cat, and the cat was 8 years old and very ill, and this person went to see Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard instructed this person to do a specific exercise in their imagination to save the cat. And this person actually lived in the same building that Neville Goddard lived in the apartment complex. So he was able to help this person to imagine this indirectly. And I really like this approach, and I wanted to share this story with everyone. And this is out of Neville Goddard's Seed Time and Harvest. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into the story. A number of years ago, a widow living in the same apartment house as we came to see me about her cat. The cat was her constant companion and dear to her heart. He was, however, 8 years old, very ill and in great pain. The cat had not eaten for days and would not move from underneath her bed. Two veterinarians had seen the cat or visited the cat and advised the woman that the cat could not be cured and that he should be put to sleep immediately. Then Neville Goddard suggested to the woman that before she went to sleep, she create in her imagination some action that would indicate the cat was in its former healthy self. Neville Goddard advised her to do it over and over again until it took on the tones of reality. So Neville Goddard suggesting that she create a vivid scene in her imagination of the cat being healthy in her mind, and keep replaying this like a movie clip. Keep replaying this movie over and over and over, a movie that would imply like the end of the movie where the cat is really, really healthy, like you're creating this imaginal act. Now that the cat is really, really healthy and doing things as if it was healthy and seeing that in her mind's eye and replaying that over and over and over. So then she promised Neville Goddard that she would actually do this. However, either from a lack of faith in Neville Goddard's advice or from a lack of faith in her own ability to carry out the imaginary action, she asked her niece to spend the night with her. And the reason that she did this was that just in case the cat wasn't healthy by morning, that the niece could take the cat to the veterinarians and that she, the owner, would not have to face such a dreaded task for herself. So that night, she settled herself in an easy chair and began to imagine the cat was romping beside her, scratching at the furniture and doing many things that she wouldn't normally allow the cat to do. Okay, so this is very important. So each time she found that her mind had wandered from its predetermined task to see a normal, healthy, frisky cat, she brought her attention back to the room and started her imaginary action over and over and over. So her mind's drifting a little. She's in there, she's imagining this, but she's noticing that her mind is drifting away. Whenever it goes to something else, like she notices that her mind is drifting back to the, the 3D world where her cat is underneath her bed and sick and dying. She keeps bringing her mind back to seeing her cat healthy, frisky, doing all these activities, even activities that she normally wouldn't allow the cat to do. So this is keeping her attention in this imaginal act, okay? And then she did this over and over and over again until finally, in a feeling of relief, not excitement, but relief, she dropped off to sleep, still seated in her chair. So she did this sitting upright in a chair. This is super important because my grandfather used to tell me this: always lay down. If you're going to lay down and visualize, always do it in somewhat of an uncomfortable position or an odd position. That way you don't fall right to sleep. That way you can really get into your imaginal act and recreate it over and over and over and loop it until you actually fall asleep. You get exhausted from doing it, with this feeling of relief that finally you just dripped off into it, because sometimes you got to replay the scene over and over and over to really make it real. And that's what this required. So her sitting in this chair kept her awake to the point where she could actually do this for a certain amount of time and really make this real. All right, so at about 4 o'clock in the morning, she was awakened by the cry of her cat. So she did this that night, and by 4 o'clock in that morning, within hours of her imaginal act, she was awakened by the cry of her cat. And the cat was actually standing by her chair, no longer under her bed. And after attracting her attention, he led her to the kitchen where he begged for food. And so she fixed him some warm milk, which he quickly drank and then cried for more. Okay, so that cat lived comfortably for 5 more years when, without pain or illness, he He died naturally in his sleep 5 years later. So this imaginal act cured this cat's illness within a matter of hours. This imaginal act was so powerful that she created, sitting up in her chair, imagining this and looping this scene over and over and over as if her cat was completely healed. And with a certain amount of hours, her cat was up and ready to eat, standing by her chair where he was in his deathbed underneath her bed and wouldn't come out for anything. Even the veterinarian said that this cat is going to die. You need to put him to sleep. She went into her imagination, met with Neville Goddard, got the techniques, learned how to imagine without any practice before this, doing this and just being and having that desire to save this cat. And sometimes that's all it takes, is having that burning desire, which is the first element to creating with your imagination, is having this burning desire to create something, to keep you in that imaginal act, and do it until you land it. Do it until you impress the subconscious mind with it and make it that powerful. And when you're saving someone that you love, like in this situation here, she's saving her cat. She put 110% of herself into this. And I believe that's why this exercise worked so quickly, because of her burning desire to save her cat. And I believe that this is the most notable point of this exercise and of this story, is how much desire do you have for creating the life of your dreams, or whatever you're trying to attract in your world. Are you willing to put that work in to actually visualize this, to actually create a scene in your mind, like Neville Goddard taught us? To actually create a mental movie, create a 20-second or a 10-second mental movie that implies that your wish is already complete, and create a movie, loop it over and over again. Keep your attention attracted in this one moment over and over and over again until you fall asleep with that feeling, and make it until it takes on the tones of reality, and impressing the subconscious mind with your wish as an accomplished fact. All right, guys, I love you. That's the end of this video, and I'm going to put a sleep meditation on the screen. I want you guys to try that sleep meditation tonight. Click on that sleep meditation and follow my instructions, and it will build and develop the muscle of the mind. That way you can start visualizing yourself. How much burning desire, how much desire do you have to develop the muscle of your mind, to be able to use your imagination to create the life that you want to have? All right, guys, I love you. Don't forget to give me one thing you are grateful for, or any future content, any information you want. Leave that in the comment box below. I read all of the comments. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.